Bitcoin is often called digital gold. It's a simple way to describe Bitcoin's investment characteristics and a popular pitch for why it might belong in a portfolio. But is it true? Is Bitcoin gold, but in digital form? The answer is more complicated than you might think. Today, we're digging into whether the digital gold narrative actually holds up. In this video, we're looking at correlations, volatility, how Bitcoin performs during periods of market stress, and what the data says about where these two assets really stand. All right, let's start with the bull case and where the comparison works, as there are some strong parallels between gold and Bitcoin. First off, both are scarce assets. Gold's above ground supply grows by roughly 1.5% a year, and that rate is slowly declining as easier deposits get tapped out. Bitcoin is even scarcer, and its inflation rate dropped below gold's after the 2024 halving. Today, Bitcoin has an annual inflation rate of about 0.8%, and by 2140, its supply will be completely capped at 21 million coins. They're also similar in that neither asset produces cash flow. Bitcoin and gold derive value from scarcity and a collective belief in that scarcity. This is what some economists call the monetary premium. And third, both assets have also benefited enormously from loose monetary policy. When the Fed was holding interest rates near zero and expanding its balance sheet, money flowed into both gold and Bitcoin as hedges against currency debasement. From November 2022 to November 2024, they actually moved with a relatively tight correlation. Gold gained about 67%, while Bitcoin surged almost 400%. During that window, the digital gold thesis looked pretty solid. Now here's where the narrative breaks down. For a while, Bitcoin certainly looked a lot like a digital version of gold. Then, 2025 happened, and the narrative cracked. Throughout 2025, gold went on an absolute tear. It climbed from about $2,600 an ounce to an all-time high above $5,600 by the start of 2026. That's a roughly 115% move in about 14 months. And this was driven by numerous catalysts such as central bank buying, geopolitical risk, and inflation fears, all factors that are often associated with higher gold prices. Bitcoin, meanwhile, it had a tough time. It hit an all-time high of $126,000 in October 2025, then it crashed hard. As of right now, it's trading around $68,000, down about 46% from its high and actually below where it started last year. Entering 2026, Bitcoin's correlation with gold has weakened to basically zero. And at the same time, its correlation with the Nasdaq has been consistently positive, running between 0.35 and 0.6. So, if Bitcoin were truly digital gold, you'd expect it to behave like gold when markets get stressed. Instead, it's trading a lot more like a high beta tech stock. During recent Nasdaq sell-offs, Bitcoin has been getting hit even harder. Regardless of the short-term shifts in correlations, a more common argument against Bitcoin as digital gold is its volatility. If an asset is supposed to be a safe haven or a store of value, you'd expect it to be relatively stable. Stability is one of gold's defining features, or at least it has been historically. Gold's yearly realized volatility runs at about 15%. It's not zero, but it's pretty manageable. On the other hand, Bitcoin's annualized volatility sits around 50 to 55%, even after declining significantly as the asset has matured. That's roughly 3.5 times gold's volatility. Now, here's the important nuance. Bitcoin's volatility has absolutely been declining on a secular basis. Back in its early years, it regularly hit triple-digit annualized vol, even trading above 200% at one point. Since then, the ratio of Bitcoin vol to gold vol has compressed from over 10 times down to around 3.5 times as of early 2025. Now, looking at volatility alone is not an entirely fair argument, as price discovery for new asset classes is inherently volatile. Though, whether Bitcoin's vol continues to decline towards more gold-like levels, even as institutions adopt it, that's yet to be seen. Another important distinction, and really a contributing factor to Bitcoin's higher volatility, is the sheer size difference in market cap between Bitcoin and gold. Gold has a market cap of around $31 trillion, while Bitcoin is a lot closer to about $1 trillion, meaning Bitcoin's market cap represents only 4% of gold's total value at today's prices. But we should note, the speed at which Bitcoin has reached this level is pretty remarkable. Bitcoin has only been around for 18 years, while gold has been used for thousands. This difference makes Bitcoin a less liquid asset than gold, which results in its larger price swings. For example, at current prices, 100,000 Bitcoin is worth about $6.8 billion, and it represents roughly 13% of Bitcoin's daily trading volume. If this amount were sold in the market, it could cause an estimated 25% drop in price over a pretty short period of time. An equivalent volume in gold would be around 5% of its daily turnover and maybe could move the price by closer to 2%. So from a trading perspective, institutions can move real size in gold without significantly impacting the market, but this is simply not the case for Bitcoin today. But remember, this liquidity dynamic is also what gives Bitcoin explosive upside potential too. Finally, for Bitcoin to really be digital gold, I'd argue it needs to perform the role of a safe haven during times of crisis. For the most part, gold does. Gold has a track record spanning literal millennia. During the 2008 financial crisis, the COVID crash in 2020, and the tariff uncertainty of early 2025, gold either held steady or it rallied when equities sold off. Bitcoin's track record is shorter and a little bit more mixed. In March of 2020, Bitcoin crashed alongside everything else. It went down about 50% in just a matter of days. During the tariff-driven sell-off of early 2025, Bitcoin got hit again and fell with risk assets while gold surged. In March 2026, there was actually a brief window where gold had its worst 5-day drop since the 80s, and Bitcoin showed some relative stability. But the broader pattern still favors gold as the more reliable crisis hedge. The bottom line, gold has a track record as a defensive asset, while Bitcoin has historically played a much different role. Bitcoin behaves much more like a tech stock or a commodity investment. So the digital gold analogy is a simple way to view Bitcoin as an investable asset, but objectively, there's little evidence that it performs the same role in a portfolio as gold does. Bitcoin hasn't been around for very long, so this could certainly change. But today, it looks a lot less like a safe haven, and instead, it behaves more like a tech stock or a commodity investment. This isn't a bad thing, though, as Bitcoin's upside volatility has historically benefited investors assuming a reasonable allocation. In my opinion, you probably want a little bit of both in your portfolio. A reasonable framework might be to put 5 to 10% in gold for stability and downside protection, maybe 1 to 5% in Bitcoin as a high conviction asymmetric bet that gives upside potential. But that of course depends entirely on your own situation, your risk tolerance, and time horizon. So my final verdict, is Bitcoin digital gold? The honest answer, not yet, and maybe not ever in the way most people mean it. Bitcoin does share some of gold's most important properties. It's scarce, it's resistant to dilution and manipulation, and it's not controlled by a single government. And these are important features. But Bitcoin lacks gold's stability, its deep liquidity, and its 5,000-year track record. And critically, its proven ability to protect portfolios during market meltdowns. The digital gold narrative is useful as a starting point for maybe understanding Bitcoin, but the data shows Bitcoin trades a lot more like a high beta tech stock that happens to have some store of value characteristics. Again, I think you want to own a little bit of both. All right, I'm Ryan Grace, head of digital assets at Tasty Trade, and thanks for watching. We'll be back with more next week, but until then, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more of crypto content from Tasty Live, please make sure to like the video, drop a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Peace.